Hello students, myself Dr. Jyoti CK, Assistant Professor, Department of Physics. Title of the paper, Mechanics and Properties of Matter. Today class, we are studying about the linear momentum. So directly going to the linear momentum, as we know, an object or a body whose motion of the amount of the motion in the body is going to depends upon the two parts here. That is the velocity and the mass. These are the 2 points where the motion of the body is going to depend here. So the amount of motion of the body, that we call it as a momentum. Here linear momentum. Then what do you mean by this linear momentum? It is also the product of the mass and the velocity of that object, and that object is moving with this velocity v along a straight line. That we call it as a linear momentum. Linearly means a straight way. It has to move in a straight line. So, whenever the particle of the mass m moves with the velocity v along a straight line, then the product of the mass and the velocity is known as a linear momentum. So, the linear momentum is denoted by the term that is the p. So, therefore, we have written here p is equal to m into v here, where m is the mass, v be the velocity. So, now it is having the mass as well as a velocity means it is a vector quantity. It's a velocity, it's a vector quantity. And the unit for this linear momentum is kg meter per second. Okay. Where m is the mass whose unit will be the kg. As we know, velocity is nothing but distance by time. Distance unit will be meter. Time will come under the downward direction. Distance by time. So, it becomes a second per second. So, kg meter per second. Then the dimensional formula for this linear momentum is a length L, m, t is the time, m is the mass, L is the length. So, L, m, t per second. Again here we can see now. So, this is a dimensional formula of the linear momentum. Let us consider here a system with n number of particles having the masses m1, m2, mn and velocity be v1, v2 up to vn respectively. So, now we are considering the system where n number of particles are there whose masses are represented by these terms and the velocities are represented by these terms. Then how we will write the total linear momentum of all the particles? I am talking here about all the particles. How we will write now? Previous what we have written here now, p is equal to m into v. We have not denoted as a m1, m2, m3, v1, v2, v3. Okay. Here we are now we wanted to write it for a n number of particles. So therefore I am representing as a p is equal to m1 v1 plus m2 v2 plus m3 v3 up to mn into vn. So this we can write it as an m1, m2, mn is nothing but summation of mn. So this we can take as a summation of mn. Similarly, v1 plus v2 plus v3 up to vn is nothing but summation of vn. So, therefore, p is equal to summation of mn into vn, or else p is equal to capital M into capital V, where capital M is the total mass of the system. How? Capital M is nothing but the combination of small m1, small m2, small m3 and so on. So, therefore, capital M is nothing but m1 plus m2 plus m3 and capital V is nothing but v1 plus v2 plus v3. So, therefore, capital M be the total mass of the system and V be the velocity of the center of mass of a system. So, here thus the total momentum of the system of the particle is equivalent to the momentum of the center of mass of the system. Okay. So, now let us consider F be the resultant of an external force which is acting on the system of the particle. Now, you consider the F. It is the external force which is acting on the system. So, how we will write now? F is equal to differentiation of m into v, or else mv is nothing but momentum, that is a p. P is nothing but m into the v. Product of mass into the velocity gives a momentum. So, therefore, F is equal to d by dt mv can be represented as F is equal to dp by dt. So, this is going to represent here Newton's second law of motion for the system of the particle. Okay. So, till now we learnt about the linear momentum. Next, we move to the law of conservation of the momentum of a single particle. So here the law of conservation means there are three types of the laws are there. That is the law of conservation of the momentum of the single particle, law of conservation of the momentum of the two particle system, and similarly the law of conservation of the system of any number of particles or a n number of particles. So now we move to the law of conservation of the momentum of a single particle. So here when a resultant external force is acting on the system of the particle, it is in a zero means then the total linear momentum of the system is going to remain in a constant here. That is going to remain a constant. So here let us consider now F be the resultant of external force which is acting on the system. So how we will write now? Already I have written here in the previous. So now in the same way we can write it out here. F is equal to d by dt mv or F is equal to dp by dt. Here if the external force which is acting on the system is 0 means then dp by dt will also becomes a 0. If this term is a 0 means dp by dt is going to become a 0. So therefore p is going to become a 0. So thus the linear momentum is conserved when no external force is acting on the system of the particle. So this is the law of conservation of the momentum of a single particle. Okay. So till now we learnt about the linear momentum, then again the law of conservation of the momentum of a single particle. So next, now the law of conservation of momentum of two particles. So let us consider a system where you are having the two particles and it is acted by only the forces like a Coulombian or the gravitational forces without any external force here. So now F12, this is the force which is exerted on the first particle by the second. F21, it is the force which is exerted on the second particle by the first here. Means you are having the two particle, one particle and another particle. The one particle is exerting the force on the second second particle is exerting the force on the first particle. What it says that they are equal in magnitude but they are in opposite in a direction. Means it is a Newton's third law of motion here. So therefore we can write now F21 is equal to minus of F12. Or else in terms of linear, that is a rate of change of linear momentum. P1 be the rate of change of linear momentum of the first particle which is equivalent to the rate of change of linear momentum P2 of the second particle. So therefore dP1 divided by dt is equal to minus dP2 by dt here. Or else we can write now d by dt is nothing but P1 plus P2 which is equal to 0 here. So this what it says that P1 is nothing but again M1 into V1. P2 is nothing but again M2 into V2, or else we can say that M1 V1 plus M2 V2 is equal to 0, or else P1 plus P2 is equal to constant here. So means this P1 plus P2 it is going to represent the total linear momentum of the system of the two particles. So this shows that because of the mutual interaction of the two particles there is no change in their total linear momentum. So thus the total linear momentum is remains conserved. It is going to remain conserved. So this till now we learnt about the linear momentum, law of conservation of the momentum of the first single particle, and similarly the law of conservation of momentum of the two particle. So next we move with the here now the law of conservation of the momentum of the n number of a particle. So in this one let us consider again the system where n number of particles are there whose masses are m1, m2, mn and they are moving with the velocity v1, v2, v3. Then how we will write the momentum of the each particle? The momentum for the first particle is p1 is equal to m1 into v1, p2 is equal to m2 into v2, pn is equal to mn into vn. Then the total momentum of the system, how we will write? The combination of P1 plus P2, P3, you will get the total momentum. And that total momentum is represented by capital P here. So therefore P is equal to P1 plus P2 up to Pn here. So this you consider the equation number 1. So here, but the P1, what is that P1 here? P1 is nothing but M1 into V1. So write it as an M1 into V1 plus M2 into V2 plus M3 into V3 plus so on up to Mn into the Vn here. Now differentiate the equation number 1. What you will get? dp by dt is equal to dp1 by dt plus dp2 by dt plus dpn by dt. Which is that equation? Here. This equation you have to differentiate it. Okay. So now we can write dp by dt is nothing but the f1. and this one is F2 up to Fn. What are the F1, F2, F3? So these are the forces which are acting on the particle of the mass M1, M2 up to Mn here. So now the above, which is going to consist of both the internal as well as an external force are there. So as per the Newton's law, third law of motion, the internal force is going to exist in a pair of equal and opposite forces. But in this case, what happens here? They are balanced each other and do not contribute anything to the total force here. Or else we can say that the internal force do not change the total momentum of the system. So whatever the change in the momentum is there, it is due to the external force only. So therefore, F external is equal to dP by dt. Suppose now if the external force acting on the system is 0 means, then dP by dt is going to become as 0. Or else P is going to become a constant. So thus the total linear momentum of the system of the particle going to remain in a constant provided the external force which is acting on the system is in a 0. So this law is known as a law of conservation of linear momentum. So today class we learnt about the linear momentum and law of conservation of the linear momentum for the single particle, double particle and a n number of a particle. So next class we move with the another topic. Okay.